I do want to give my daily update on what's going on with respect to COVID. Yesterday, almost 13,000 individuals were tested here in Massachusetts. That puts us up to about 1.3 million tests that have been administered so far. Yesterday, there were 143 new positive cases reported, which brings the statewide total to about 106,770. The 7-day average positive test rate remains under 2%. It's about 1.7%, which is down about 95% since the middle of April. There are currently 557 people hospitalized for COVID-19 statewide, 77 of those in the ICU. That's down about 85% since the middle of April. And as of yesterday, 6 hospitals were operating using some form of surge capacity, although many of them were using it for reasons that had something to do with, that didn't involve COVID. These progress indicators are obviously critical to us as we continue to move forward with respect to our own reopening plans here in Massachusetts, and obviously those public health data metrics are the key ones that we spend a lot of time paying attention to and working on. And I want to say what I pretty much say every time, which is how proud we are of the work that's been done by the people of the Commonwealth to do their part every day to control and manage this insidious disease. We all need to keep doing what we've been doing if we're going to remain successful here. And as I've said many times, that means wear a mask if you can't keep your distance. Use good hygiene, wash your hands wherever you can. If you can be outdoors instead of indoors, go for it. And obviously, as we've said many times before, wipe surfaces, disinfect, and respect the virus. We just finished taking a walk down to the beach here, and I must say, I felt a little bit out of place walking down to visit a beach in a suit and a tie and a pair of black shoes. I hope no one took a picture of me in that particular garb because I'd hate to have it used against me at some point down the road. But I did want to have a chance, as I said before, to personally get a look at this place, and in particular, not just because of its beauty, but because of its importance as a valuable habitat here in southeastern Mass, and also for the recreational opportunities that come from the hiking and the fishing that are associated with it. It also provides, as the Secretary and as the Chairman said, drinking water to both New Bedford and to Taunton, and it's also a very important natural resource here in the Commonwealth, and especially in this part of Massachusetts. And with respect to that, I just want to point out that we have never seen numbers like the numbers we've seen over the past few months of people spending time in our state parks and at our beaches, and it's really been, in many respects, for us, an eye-opener, and it's one of those great examples of where the outdoors, and especially the natural outdoors, can be a real opportunity for respite and relief for people during periods of high anxiety, which is obviously where a lot of people have been and how they've felt over the course of the past 120 days or so. Both the Chairman and the Secretary talked a lot about some of the flooding issues that are associated with this complex. Past flooding events have caused all sorts of havoc involving evacuations, property damage, and problems for critical utility and road infrastructure. Climate change is going to continue to be an issue across communities like this, and especially in places that are considered to be among the most vulnerable to storms and to high weather events. We're obviously taking this stuff seriously. It's why we created a vulnerability planning program a few years ago, and why we started investing side by side with our colleagues in local government in a variety of mitigation strategies to help communities do the things they needed to do to both protect themselves, but also to protect many of their natural resources. We've spent about $780 million over the past 5 years on mitigation and preparation efforts associated with climate change, and that particular municipal vulnerability preparedness program has awarded over $32 million to date to Massachusetts communities to support their resiliency efforts, and 82% of Massachusetts communities are now voluntarily enrolled in this program. We're encouraged to see more and more towns and cities working together on regional adaptations to deal with this particular issue, and obviously this is a great example of exactly that. This particular complex has climate issues and mitigation issues that affect a number of communities, and it's important for them to act regionally and for us to work with the region to deal with those issues as we move forward. We're obviously looking forward to turning what has been an exercise around what to do and why into an exercise around how to do it and when, and we're looking forward to seeing that process move forward despite all the issues associated with COVID and all the rest. I also just want to say in closing how much we appreciate our relationship and the work that we do with our colleagues in the legislature and with our colleagues in local government. It's nice to see so many
We've been
folks
listening
from local
to Governor
government here.
Baker
It's
and
nice to have you
updating
here
us on a
as
number
well.
of things, but
I would just
basically
say
saying
that
the
from our point of view,
COVID-19 response is still
one of the
good.
most
Our test rate is still low at 1.7%. And he's in Middleborough right now at the Assawompset Pond talking about the EEE bill that was put on his desk yesterday and also climate change and how it's being handled regionally, which is how he says it needs to be done.